All right, so did you have any success? Hopefully you did. Hopefully you were able to provide the comment text as a prop along with the image source up here as well. In this section, we'll walk through some solutions to this very quickly. We'll first begin with the comment text down here because it's definitely a little bit easier of the two. Now, in order to do this, I'm going to first flip back over to my app component, and I'm going to add a new property name to this thing. Remember, you can use any property name within reason that you want to use. So chances are you used a different property name than I. If you want to, you can use your own property name or change it to whatever I'm using. In my case, I'm going to say content. I'll give that as the name. So that's going to be essentially my comment content. That's what I'm trying to specify here. So now for the first comment detail, I'll give it content of nice blog post. On the second one, I'll do I like the subject. And on the third one, I'll do something like I like the writing, like so. Now, quick note, when I save this file, you're going to see my code formatter jump in, and it's going to kind of reformat all this code. So I'm going to save it right now, and there we go. So anytime that we start to amass a couple of different props and any individual JSX tag is getting really long, we will very frequently turn that single tag into a multi-line tag like so. It's still the exact same sequence of characters. The only difference is that we had added in a couple of new lines here. So we say comment detail. We then tab in one tab or two spaces, depending on whether you're using tabs or spaces. I'm actually using spaces in my case. And then we list out all the different props that we want to pass in. And then we can close that component off with the / greater than sign like so. You're going to very frequently see this syntax right here anytime that we are trying to pass many different props down to a single component. All right, so now that we've provided the content, we can now flip back over to the comment detail. Remember, this props object should now contain a key of content that we can freely reference anywhere inside this component. So I'm going to go down to our blog content down here, where it currently says nice blog post. I'll delete that hard-coded text. I'll put in my set of curly braces, and then props.content like so. I'll save the file, and we'll flip back over to our browser and see how it's going. All right, so I see nice blog post, I like the subject, and I like the writing. Perfect. So now just one more thing. I want to try to extract this image URL as well. Now, at present, that image is being randomly generated, so it doesn't make a huge difference whether or not this is being provided by the parent or just randomly generated inside the child, but nonetheless, I just want some practice on how we would go through this process. At this point, we've only gone through props that show some content or some information or text inside the child. But this is going to be an example of where we want to customize the attribute on a JSX element using a prop. So it will be a little slightly different approach. But in practice, the syntax will be just about identical. All right, so I'll first begin by changing back over to the index.js file. On each of my comment details, I'm going to put in a new prop name. And I'll call this one, how about avatar? I think that's good enough. We'll leave it like that. Now, in this case, I do not have a hard-coded string to provide for the image avatar. Remember, this string is going to be some URL that tells the browser where to get this image from. So in this case, my prop is not going to be a string. Instead, it's going to be a reference to a JavaScript variable because I want to call that faker.image.avatar function from right here. So I'll reference with the curly braces. You'll notice we still have faker imported into the index.js file. So right here, we can say faker.image.avatar like so. So this is going to generate a new link or a link to an image and then assign it to the avatar prop that's going to be passed down to the comment detail. So now we can repeat that same process with the other two components as well. I'll say avatar equals faker image avatar. And the same thing down here, avatar equals faker image avatar. All right, so now we'll flip back over to the comment detail. So now we have a new property on that props object. We have a new key value pair where the key is avatar. So now I want to reference that props.avatar and pass it to this src. So in order to do so, I'm going to delete the current function call in there. And again, we are referencing a JavaScript variable. And because of that, we're going to continue to use these curly braces. We are not going to put it inside of a string because we are not hard coding the source. So inside of curly braces, I'll say props.avatar like so. And that's it. Okay, so I'm going to save this file, and then I'll flip back over. And in this case, our images are still going to show up just fine, and we're really just making sure that they continue to be randomly generated. Awesome. Now, if you have your console open, you might notice that we have a little warning over here. It says Faker is defined but not used. So that's a little warning that's being thrown by Create React App. It's essentially complaining that inside of our comment.detail.js file, we imported the Faker library, but we never actually made use of it inside this file. So if we wanted that warning message to go away, we could just find inside of comment detail, import Faker, and delete it, like so. We would still want to leave the import statement inside the index.js file, however, because we are using the Faker library inside this file for all these different avatars that we're putting together. So now if you go back over, you'll notice that that warning message has now gone away. All right, so that's pretty much it. That is props in a nutshell. That's how we pass basic information from a parent down to a child. So let's take a quick pause right here and continue in the next video.